What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in the building, and today I just want to say first, thank y'all to everybody who decided to click on today's video, man. Before we get too far into it, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. To the RGF family and any new supporters, I would appreciate it if y'all went ahead and hit that like button right now. But also be sure to go ahead and turn on post notifications because I'm uploading every single day and y'all are most definitely not going to want to miss it. So, as y'all can see by the looks of the title and the screen, today I'm going to be bringing y'all the back to basket guard. This build is literally going to be a comparison and a mixture of Kobe, LeBron, Jordan, and every other player who has ever played with their back to the basket. And on top of all that, this is going to be one of those rare builds that you are going to be able to use in any game mode. If you don't want to dribble, you can also make this build with more of a dribbling type style. I'm going to go ahead and make a more simple version today, so let's go ahead and get right into it. When it comes down to the position to start out, we got to go with the point guard. Now, when it comes down to the height, weight, and the wingspan, when it comes down to the height, of course, you want to go ahead and make this the tallest possible build that you possibly can. Then when it comes down to the weight, this is really going to be optional, but I'm going to go with 225 just to get the most strength out of the build. And then when it comes down to the wingspan, I'm going to go with the max, but if you want to go with the lowest for the max strength of 99, definitely go ahead and do so. 7'6" is not bad either, definitely going to help out on the defensive side of things. But now, let's go ahead and get into the actual making of when it comes down to the stats. So be sure that you are following along because every single thing that goes into this build is going to be very specific and any one minor stat can change up the build name. So, when it comes down to the finishing, close shot and the post control are of course going to be maxed out. Then when it comes down to the driving layup as well as the driving dunk, both of these have to stay at an 84. The good thing about it is though, once you grind this build out, you're still going to be able to get those contact dunks, so do not worry at all. Then when it comes down to that standing dunk, go ahead and put this to where you get either 20 or 21 badges, y'all. You could even go at 22 if you want to. I'm going to leave it like that. I feel like that's going to be a really nice and even setup when it comes down to the finishing, especially for the post scoring. Now let's go ahead and get into the shooting. You could go ahead and put that free throw to a 92, but when it comes down to the mid-range and the three-pointer, both of these have to stay at 79. Now if you want to, you could go ahead and lower the free throw around to wherever you are most comfortable with. But if you go ahead and higher your mid-range shot or your three-pointer, you're going to change up the build name. Now like I said, if y'all want me to go ahead and make a playmaking version out of this build with the same exact name, go ahead and drop a like, and I definitely got y'all with that. But let's go ahead and skip over the playmaking for this version of the build. Then when it comes down to the defense, go ahead and put both the perimeter and interior defense to a 79. Do not go anything higher, and the same thing applies for that block at a 79 as well. Then when it comes down to the steal, keep this at 69, leave that defensive rebound at a 90, and then put that offensive at a 65 for 14 badges. As you can see, when it comes down to the physicals, we're going to go ahead and max out everything except for our stamina. Now, if you want to, you can definitely go ahead and make the version that I'm showing y'all right here to where you get a 60 stamina, and if you want to, go ahead and put the rest of the stats into any other category that you want. For my liking, I'm telling you, I like having stamina on my builds just to be safe and being able to use them in any game mode, because honestly, I feel like if you put no stamina on any kind of build, you are definitely going to be taking a hit, and I feel like you are honestly going to be able to realize it once you are guarding anybody as well as playing on offense. But it really comes down to how you are most comfortable when it comes down to these builds. But let's go ahead and check out the takeovers now. We get slashing first, then we get the sharp shooting. Lockdown is going to be really nice, especially with those 14 badges that we get. And then, of course, this is a back-to-basket guard, so of course we're going to be getting the post-scoring takeovers. Now, All of these are going to be really good options for the very first pick. In my opinion, just to go with the build name, I would highly recommend picking one of the post scoring takeovers. I feel like that is honestly going to be best. If you want to, you can definitely change it up to one of the slashing or even the sharpshooting, but let's go ahead and think about it for the second takeover. If you want to go ahead and be more of an offensive player, go ahead and pick the slashing or the sharpshooting takeover. For my preference, I would go with the slashing, but if you want to, sharpshooting is definitely going to be a good one as well. To be the most overpowered though, I'm going to go ahead and recommend the Extreme Clamps badge. And as y'all can see, we have made the back to basket guard literally a Kobe build, Michael Jordan build, as well as LeBron James. And on top of all that, this build is going to be able to do everything that you want. If you want a dribbling version, definitely go ahead and drop a like, and I got y'all with that. But let's go ahead and take a quick look at what this build is going to be looking like once we get it to 99. So we're getting a +8 to our physicals. Speed is going to be around an 89, pretty much a 90. Acceleration in 86. When it comes down to that strength, if you decided to lower the wingspan, you're going to have a 99. If not, right here, we're going to have around a 90, being at an 89, which is pretty much the same thing. Then when it comes down to that vertical, it's going to be a 96, and our stamina is going to be pretty much around that 70 range. Now, let's go ahead and get into the defense. As y'all can see, with boost, defensive rebound is going to be a 99. When it comes down to the offensive, this will be in the 70s. Block has the potential to go ahead and be in the high 80s. Same thing with the steal. Then when it comes down to the perimeter and interior defense, with boost as well as running with a teammate that has defensive leader, these stats are going to be able to hit the early 90s. Now, when it comes down to the shooting, all of these are going to be really good. It really comes down to how comfortable you are. Just be sure to buy boost for every category that you are unsure about, but none of the build when it comes down to the stats are going to be weak. Let's go ahead and check out what the badges we're going to put on when it comes down to the shooting. Right here, Fade Ace on Hall of Fame is definitely going to be one that we all need to consider. Being that we did make a back-to-basket guard, you definitely have to go ahead and keep this badge on Hall of Fame. From there, I'm going to go with Hot Zone Hunter on gold. Now, you could spread the wealth between Green Machine, Corner Specialist, as well as Catch and Shoot. However, if you feel like putting on Deadeye, you definitely can do that, or you could even go with Clutch Shooter. Even so, you can also go ahead and upgrade any of the tiers of badges that we already put on. Now, let's go ahead and get into the defense, and I'm actually going to go ahead and show y'all a couple different ways how y'all can go about it when it comes down to this part of the video. So, Clamps on gold as well as Intimidator are going to be two badges that everybody are definitely going to want to run. From here, if you want a really nice solid lineup, go with Rim Protector as well as Rebound Chaser in Hall of Fame. However, there's going to be a way that you can go about it to spreading the wealth on this build and getting a lot more badges with a different couple of setups that I'm going to show y'all right now. So, go ahead and take off your Rebound Chaser, drop down to Silver Clamps as well as Intimidator, and then when it comes down to that Chase Down Artist, go ahead and put it on Bronze as well as an Interceptor. So, from here, you could go ahead and still put on Rebound Chaser or even Ankle Braces, but I know a badge that's going to help all of us out, and that's going to be Clutch Defender. Like I said, it really comes down to how y'all want to go about it. This is another nice setup, but if you want to go ahead and maintain that Intimidator and Clamps on gold, go ahead and drop down your Rim Protector to silver. And then from here, as you can see, I re-upgraded them. But as you can see also, we can go about it a different way with also upgrading back to Hall of Fame Rim Protector and still keeping on the gold badges. I'm going to leave it like this though. I like the setup so far. Now let's go ahead and get into the finishing. So 22 badges to work with. Let's just go ahead and start off by first looking at all of the Hall of Fame post scoring badges that we can work with. Post Spin Technician, Back Down Punisher, Dream Shake, Drop Stepper, and Hook Specialist. Out of these 5 badges, ones that I am really going to consider are going to be Hook Specialist as well as Back Down Punisher. Now, if you want to, Post Spin Technician is a badge that a lot of people have used in the past, and if you feel comfortable with using it, go ahead and do so. But when it comes down to the rest of these badges, you have to take a quick look at what you can do when it comes down to spreading the wealth. So, with my liking, I'm going to go ahead and definitely got to go ahead and put on Posterizer. From there, Slithery finisher on silver is going to be really good, and Lob City finisher on bronze is going to be a really nice setup just to keep on to be safe to get those Lob City catching animations. Now, with these last two Hall of Fame badges, I really like Heat Seeker, so if you did decide to go with that slashing takeover, be sure to keep this badge on. However, there are going to be other badges that you can go with. Fearless Finisher as well as Giant Slayer are going to be two badges that I would consider. If you want to, you can take one of these off and go ahead and put on an extra badge for either Heat Seeker, Highlight Film, or even Post-Spin Technician. I like this setup right here, and that's what we're going to go with, 22, 10, and 14. To everybody who watched this entire video, right now go ahead and comment down RGF. I want to know who are the loyals. But man, thank y'all so much. I got another video dropping for y'all tomorrow, so y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. To the RGF family and any new supporters, I would appreciate it if y'all went ahead and dropped a like, but also be sure to turn on post notifications because I'm uploading every single day and y'all are not going to want to miss it. Man, with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.